So I recently got into cooking food. I really enjoy cooking and preparing food. And when I say recently, I mean I've always been able to cook. I'm an adult, been able to prepare food for myself. But I really recently just got into like the art, the culinary art of making a dish, let's say. I've always enjoyed um, barbecuing and kind of going out there and standing around the grill, the manly thing to do. I've kind of upped my game there too, as far as how I prepare a steak, let's say. But what I'm talking about here really is I got into the art of making a dish and what it takes to make a dish. One of my favorite things to make, I love making two kinds of soup, okay? Split pea soup and chicken noodle soup. And if you're a cook and you enjoy to prepare food, maybe that's not a big deal. But to me, it was, right? Because and it started with the split pea soup. Somebody had said something about 2 years ago, I guess, right after Thanksgiving, which is we're at December 2nd right now, so we're right after Thanksgiving. Um, they said something about making split pea soup with the ham left over from Thanksgiving. And I thought, wow, it sounds great. I'm going to try it. So I started doing some research online, looked up some recipes, found a recipe that I liked that sounded good, and I went with it. Went to the store, bought the ingredients, started reading about how to soak the split peas so that you got them just right, and all the things that you have to do to make this dish, right? Not a lot of vegetables involved. There's an onion, a carrot, a couple of carrots, depending on how much soup you're going to make, a couple stalks of celery, again, depending on how much soup you're going to make, salt, pepper, leftover ham. I like the ham with a bone in it, right? Because it adds some salt to the dish. I used chicken stock in mine, and a little bit of thyme, and not thyme, but thyme, the herb spice, right? And I started making this soup, and the first time that I did it, it was pretty good. And I think the thing that I really enjoyed about it was that I totally made it from scratch. Really, the only thing that I used that was kind of like a something that was prepackaged really was the chicken stock, right? The instead of making my own chicken stock, which would, I guess there's a whole art to that too. I haven't tried it yet, but I bought boxed chicken stock, organic, low sodium chicken stock. And I'm making this soup, and as I'm making it, there's a couple things that I really enjoy doing it. It is labor intensive, I will say. And when I say labor, I mean, I'm not talking about like, digging a ditch labor or building a house labor intensive. I'm just talking about taking the time to cut the vegetables correctly, cut everything up, put in the ingredients, soak the split peas, all these things that you have to do to create this dish of split pea soup. And then the other thing that I was doing along the way while I'm doing it, I'm testing it, right? I taste it. Oh man, needs a little more salt maybe. Put a little bit more salt in it. Needs a little more time. But then what I would do is I'd go to my wife. I'd say, hey, taste this. Tell me what you think. And, she would usually say, oh, it needs a little more salt, because I'm not a big salter. Like I don't put a lot of salt on my food. And so anyway, I put a little bit more salt in there, maybe a little bit more time. And then as I'm reading, I'm finding that people that really know how to make split pea soup, what they do is they'll say, maybe don't put too much salt in it because the ham bone can have a lot of salt in it. And if you oversalt it, it's like anything. If you put too much salt in, you've ruined it. If you add just the right amount of salt, it's pretty good. But that can be a personal taste thing. So what I found is a lot of people cook, a lot of chefs and cooks and people that have been into culinary arts forever, well, they'll leave the salt and pepper to the individual. Go ahead and put your own salt and pepper in there, because I didn't put too much. I didn't want to oversalt it. So that's what I do, right? That's what I do. Now, at the end of making this soup, or any dish, right? It can be the soup, it can be the steak that I spoke of, the chicken noodle soup. I love making salsa. Same thing with the salsa, I enjoy eating it. I really do. It's something that I do enjoy. But I think what I enjoy more than eating it, the any dish that I prepare is when I share it with another person. When I give it to somebody else and they like it and they enjoy it and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is so good," and it nourishes them. It gives their body strength. It gives them food. You're providing food for another person. And I really enjoy that part of it. Like, I really enjoy that. And I don't, and like I say, if I prepare a dish and somebody really likes it, it's not "Oh my gosh, you're such a great cook" thing. It has nothing to do with that. It's that they appreciate something that I have made and prepared for them. This whole channel is about the music business and being in the music business. I've spent my entire adult life in the music business, and I have focused on that. I have focused on being the best drummer that I can be. I've focused on being a good band member, really giving it my all to the band, giving everything that I have to a product, to a band. So what in the heck does split pea soup have to do with that? Well, it has to do with this. One of the things that I'm learning as I get older about life is much like I said about the split pea soup. I do enjoy it. I do enjoy making a dish for people, no matter what it is. And I enjoy preparing it. I enjoy, putting in the correct amount of time, putting in the correct amount of salt and pepper, cooking the vegetables till they're just soft enough and not too soft. All those things, I really enjoy that. Having another person taste it. Oh, it needs more of this, Maybe you put too much of this in, so put in a little more water. Whatever, right? Getting other people's feedback. And I enjoy that. In the music business, I was so, and still am, but I'm trying to change a lot of this about myself. And so that's why I'm sharing this with you. I'm so focused on success, right? That I forgot to maybe enjoy some of it along the way. I've been all over the planet playing music, and I did enjoy it. I'm not trying to be a martyr, and I'm not trying to be woe is me. I didn't enjoy my life. No. That's not it. I was just so focused on success, whatever success is. Now, that can even be a cliche, because some people think, success is different things to different people, and it has nothing to do with money, said the guy who's always broke. I think, I'm not a nonprofit. I gladly take my paycheck for playing music, teaching music, writing books, all the things that I do, right? I gladly take that. But I don't, that's not 100% what it is about for me. It's much like that meal I said. And that's what I'm learning and trying to share with younger musicians and the next generation of musicians is be sure to enjoy what you're doing while you're doing it, while you're going along the way. Be in the moment. Because I for a long time, I wasn't. Again, I was chasing that success, whatever the success was. And I'd always break it down into things, like whatever it is that I'm working on, right? If I was working on, let's say, an album, okay, we're doing an album, I do the album, we record the album's done. Next, what's the next thing? I usually thought when I was doing the album, I was more focused on what I was learning, which is a good thing. I said in previous videos, my grandfather always used to say, if you don't learn something new every day, then, you did that day wrong. So I always tried to learn, right? I always did try to learn. Collaboration, much like the food. Taste this. What does it need? I would collaborate with other musicians and what does the song need? What do you need from me as a drummer? Am I doing too much of this or too little of this? Always asking those questions, not out of insecurity, out of I wanted to give the best that I could for that song. And then I think also the other thing that I would do that was incorrect, that I think if you do this to yourself, don't do this. Don't compare yourself, right? I can take my split pea soup and I can compare it with Campbell's split pea soup, which I don't know if it's good or bad. I haven't had any of that in years, but I'm hoping mine's a little better because it's made from fresh ingredients. Um, but who knows? Maybe the Campbell's is better. I don't know. I haven't done that yet, but why would I compare that, right? Why would I compare my split pea soup to another person's split pea soup? I think comparison kills the creativity, and I think it kills your soul a little bit, right? Because you're comparing yourself to everybody else. Now, I did that for years, you know. I'm a drummer. So I would see all these people that were great drummers, and rather than, and I would try to pull from them and learn from them, and, oh, how did he do that? Well, put that in my bag of tricks. But then at the end of the day, it's so easy in any business. I don't care if you're a musician, if you're in the culinary arts and you're a cook, if you are in sports, whatever it is that you're in, if that's what you do professionally, you're going to be surrounded by greatness, right? You have to learn to let your greatness shine and not compare your greatness to the other person's greatness, because that's their journey. This is your journey. And at the end of the day, much like the meal that I prepared for anybody, it could be for a party I'm going to, it could be just for my wife and myself, it can be for myself and a friend, whatever. I want them to enjoy that meal. I want those people to enjoy what I prepared for them, and it nourishes them. It nourishes their body, gives them strength, it makes them feel better. They enjoy the flavor of the food. I want people to enjoy my work as a musician too, right? When I put an album out, I want people to enjoy it. I want it to speak to people, hopefully. So if it's an original album and I wrote it, I wrote some of the songs on there, I want my songs to speak to people. It's not going to be as personal to them as it is to me because I wrote it. I wrote the lyrics, I put the song together, but maybe it will resonate with them, much like that meal. Wow, this is a really good meal. Wow, that song is a great song. It spoke to me. Or they come to a performance, they come see a show. And the show, while they're there, to kind of, use the things that other musicians say and other greats say, when you walk in the door to see my band play, I want all your problems to be left at the door. Right? For the 90 minutes that we're on stage playing, I want you to enjoy that show, and I want you to walk away going, wow, that made my day better. All the troubles of life and the job and the this and the that, they were gone for 90 minutes, and I really enjoyed that show. And if you come to me for lessons or coaching, again, like the meal, I want to nourish you. I want my food to be good for you. I want you to enjoy it, but I also want it to be healthy for you. It's not some pre-boxed thing that's got a lot of salt in it and it's bad for you and tons of sugar. No, I want it to be good for you. I want it to again, to use the word nourish, I want it to nourish you. Well, I want my lessons to do that too. When I teach somebody drums, or I coach them in the music business, or I do a video like this, I want it to be something that helps you. That's why I teach. That's why I've spent a lifetime writing content, writing books, writing doing self-help videos like this one, writing my book, School of Hard Rocks, writing my book, Drum Up Your Business and the Rhythmic Journey. Because life is that. Life is a journey, okay? Life is a complete and total journey that we're on. My reality and my journey is going to be way different than your reality and your journey. But somewhere along the line, if our two lives interconnect, whether it be through a video like this or at a performance or a lesson or what, just at the store buying food buying ingredients to make food, whatever. If we resonate together and we kind of learn to live together, I think that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. So anyway, I hope that all made sense. Today I was in the kitchen actually cleaning up from last night. I was kind of thinking about this, and I was like, anything that you do in life, you want to do the best that you can, and it doesn't matter what it is that you do. If the culinary arts, if it's music, if you're a great carpenter, this room that I sit in, my uncle helped me build it. My uncle's an amazing carpenter. He's retired. He's been retired for many years, but he's built beautiful homes. He helped me build this, and watching him build this room, I was just kind of I helped him, but I was really, I don't want to say I was a spectator, but I was definitely a spectator. I learned a lot watching him do it. He was so incredible at what he did. And he did it out of the goodness of his heart. Again, giving back. So I hope all that stuff that I just said in this video makes sense. I really do. Because I think the comparison of the two is a good comparison, and I hope it helps you in some way. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. If I can help you in any way, whether it be through private drum lessons or music business coaching, please reach out to me at my website, bartrobley.com. I would love it if you check out my book, Drum Up Your Business, or if you feel like you're on this journey of life and rhythm and music resonates with you, please check out my book, The Rhythmic Journey. Something I wrote as a way for other people to enjoy it. So I hope you enjoy that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.